Greetings from Ukraine. I'm Alex and welcome back to our channel. As you know, it has been a while since we recorded our previous video because, as you know, we had certain troubles with the energy because of the missile attacks, and nevertheless we found a little bit elegant solution how to solve that, and I hope the new videos will come every week. What we're gonna do today is to take a look to this amazing gift we got from one of our friends. This dosimeter RKS-01 STORA-TU, which is very interesting, and it's came in such an amazing box. So let's look inside. And also I'm gonna tell you some pretty interesting historical insights as usual. So like this video, subscribe to our channel, and let's go. The device we are going to talk about today represents a modern generation of the dosimeters, which is pretty high-tech, has a lot of features, and it's digital. But, you know, let's take a little insight to the history, because in the pre-Chernobyl period, especially in the 70s, the approach to radiation was generally focused in relation of the nuclear war, yeah? And pretty high levels. So devices of that time, they were normally just analog, and for example, you know, many our American friends will recognize this thing, yeah? It's a standard American civil defense device from 70s. By the way, still perfectly working. Yeah, and the trouble with these analog devices is the following. When you need to make contamination maps, like for example this one, which I have here, that's a map from 1989, and it shows us the ISO lines of contamination and also the actual levels in milliroentgens per hour on the various ways from town of Chernobyl to Slavutich and also to Pripyat and so on. So you need to walk with the device and measure. And the trouble is, there are some situations when you need to use the very high multiplier here, because you can actually adjust, yeah, like this. And you are in a field of serious contamination, and this pointer moves quite slowly to reach the level, and basically you just get the dose, which can harm your health. So when the Chernobyl disaster happened, that actually became pretty sharp thing. And therefore, many factories and researchers started to develop the digital devices, which are much faster, much sophisticated, and often have advanced features. For instance, I have this tiny book that's called Dosimetry Equipment and Measurements, and it depicts us the various devices that were intended for the home use, for the general, let's say, audience and users, yeah? But I recently found even much more interesting thing. You probably remember our series Computers of Chernobyl, where I talked about the computer from Spetsatom corporation, which operated in Pripyat after a disaster. So straight in their former office in the Jupiter plant in Pripyat, using this one scanner, I could scan a forgotten folder with the original advertisement booklets sent by the Old Union Corporation Isotope to Spetsatom, where they proposed various dosimeters to the Chernobyl zone. And this thing, with the scans, some with translation, you can find on our Patreon page. So don't forget to join us there. There is a lot of interesting stuff which you'll not find on internet. A link is in the description below. So let's unbox. The device coming in such a nice, very compact flat box. It was produced by the company called Ecotest, based in Lviv in Ukraine. It's the leading producer of dosimeters in our country. And the first thing we can find inside is the certificate of calibration. It has a validity date, and here it's very important to understand. You need to regularly calibrate the devices to keep their accuracy. For example, in Ukraine, you can send them to Chernobyl Zone, to one of the laboratories where they will use the standard source to adjust it. And then inside everything is densely packed. There is like a few boxes, one with the software, with the spare parts, and with this bag, which we'll look a little bit later too. And the next one actually has the device, and here we have a telescopic handle and a couple of screws. So inside the tiny box with the device we can find the actual dosimeter, as well as a very detailed manual that explains virtually any aspect of the using of it. And let's look to the device itself. It's relatively thick, built from a durable plastic, and on the sides there are such holes for screws that allows to attach it to the handle. Must say, it's despite its brick shape, it's pretty convenient to hold it in the hand. It's really easy to use and easy to access these two control buttons, because everything you have here is done only via two buttons. One is threshold, another one is mode. On the sides there are also seals, which is important not to break, and on the back we have watertight such two compartments, very well insulated. One smaller one is for two AAA batteries, and this bigger one is a shield of the Geiger tubes, because this device is a Geiger counter, but contrary to those for home use, this one has 4 detectors, because as more Geiger detectors you have in a device, as more precise it will be. And they are covered with a thin film, which is important not to break. So with the open shield, use it for better measurements, with the closed shield for the gamma radiation measurements. Inside this paper cover that covers the bag, you can also find a part of the telescopic handle. And also in a tiny compartment there, there is a CD with the application called Cadmium Echo Monitor, which allows to actually download the archived data of measurements from the dosimeter, because the dosimeter allows to record what you're actually measuring. And let's take a look to the handle. It has such a connector. You know, everything is made from the good brushed metal, so everything fits very precise. And then you take the 2 screws that we have in a set. Yeah, we need to tighten this first. Yeah, you can retract it this way, so it's around 1 meter long, and then you place it like this. I actually needed some time to get them on the place, because they are yet not very much used, but that's what it looks like when it is assembled. Here is pretty important safety detail, that why should you use these telescopic handles. Иван, я что-то не понял. Крути генератор, иначе обеда не будет. Угу, спасибо. Простіше було би кинути переноску на ЧАЕС. Okay, so the thing is, there are certain organs in your body which are very vulnerable to the radiation, brain, lungs, and also reproductive organs. So basically, when you make some measurement, a good judgment is to stand as farther as possible from the source, because the power of radiation goes lower with the distance. In some extreme cases, these handles can be up to 5 meters, that they look like a telescopic fishing pole. So that's always a good idea. You know, as an illustration to what I just said, I have another device, MKSU rugged military dosimeter from the same producer. So on the side, it actually has a place for connecting extra detector with the wire up to 5 meters. And with this device, I walked, I think, thousands of kilometers in the zone, making various measurements. It unfortunately needs some repair of the detector, but it's pretty interesting. If you would like to have a review, just let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. To switch on the device, you need to hold the mode button for just a couple of seconds, and in few seconds it will start to give you the results of measurement of the gamma radiation, which will be visible with these big digits. On the bottom left corner you have the like a level of the mistake and also the threshold, which you can program. This means if the level will reach that number, it will make a sound and the light alarm. And then if you press once more the mode button, you can go to the beta measurement. I will explain a little bit later how to do it. And then if you press it once more, you can have a current time, and also if you press once more, you can actually use the alarm clock. Here all their dosimeters, they have alarm clock. And here we have a PC connection. You need to install application from a disk, and then via Bluetooth you can connect and download the archived data if you have any. For instance, if I would wish to record the result of measurement of gamma radiation, I just turn it to the gamma measurement, then I hold the threshold button for a while it appears this arch, and then I need to enter the number of a measurement, for example, let it be 1. I do it like this, and now it is recorded, and I can add as much as I wish. It's pretty big capacity. And now if I go again, there appears the menu arch where you can see actually our point and with the time. I didn't set up the correct time, but you actually have time, you have a level, you have the threshold level, you have the accuracy level, and this way you can get useful information. I can also clear the data from a memory like that, and then I again return to the measurement of gamma. Well, from the point of my practice, this is amazing functionality, totally sufficient in the zone, and I think experts would agree with me.
It's great.
It is also possible to program this device that it will give us a sound and LED, blinking LED alarm if we reach certain levels. So I need to hold again the threshold button longer, and then the arch disappears, and here I can actually set up the level. But it will be just 0.05 microsieverts, because otherwise I will not trigger it. I don't have here contamination. And then we just roll around the menu, and let's wait a little bit and we'll see it. Yeah, here it is. So we have blinking display, blinking LED, and it makes this annoying sound. Well, generally in a real zone there is normally a need just to set up some high threshold when it's really high, and professional dosimeters normally like orient themselves by the intensity of clicking. It's really enough to understand when radiation suddenly increases. Beta. Measuring of the beta radiation is very similar to gamma, just the unit will be different because it's heavy particles that will be measured in a number of particles per square centimeter in a minute, and the threshold for the home use is the 40 particles. You need to open the detectors like this and place to the geometrical center of detector our source of radiation. Here we will have some number. We should multiply to 1000. So this meant like 3 to 1 particle. I have here clean, so it shows us zeros. Otherwise, it's exactly the same like with the gamma. To switch off the device, we need to hold again the mode button for a few seconds, and that's it. And now let's try to look how it fits up in that bag, so you can carry it already in a field conditions. So the device goes inside pretty tight. It's good because it will not fall out if you really move somewhere on a terrain. You can also fit here the manual, the disk with software. I'm not sure if it's really supposed to be, but you can. And also on the side there is a special place for the telescopic handle. Actually, expect that it will just pass through, but no, it has a bottom, so it will stick this way. The only one thing which I find a little bit strange, that there is no place for these two screws. You can eventually just lose them. And if you put them inside the device, like you will not be able to put it inside. So that's what it looks like. I would say pretty convenient. Overall weight of a set maybe kind of 2 kilograms, so it's very, very okay for a field condition. So like this video, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to check our Patreon page, because there you can find a lot of interesting Chernobyl insights, technical information and bonus materials. And that's it for today. I hope you like it. See you next time.